and welcome to this collective and timeless reading. This is E-Star Tarot, and today we're going to be doing a reading to see what we need to do to get re-inspired, or see what's coming in to inspire us right now. Yeah, oh, that was fast. Six of Cups. Six of Cups has been coming out a lot lately. In the other deck, it's six orange cups, and the keyword is pleasure. But often this is also associated with nostalgia as well. But also a tender love, a sweet love, like this adult rabbit giving the younger rabbit some flowers. It's just like very tender, very sweet, very nostalgic, like warm nostalgia. That's what I often think of. So maybe what's going to get you inspired right now is actually looking a bit into the past. Looking at the things that livened you up in the past. Things that made you excited in childhood is what's going to help you right now. Got two cards here. Page of Swords. Okay. Let's see here. Page of Swords. So I think when you were younger, you had a lot of inspiration, because I'm getting like a younger person with this rabbit and this like shorter sword. So I think when you were younger, you had a lot of natural inspiration and inclination towards creativity. But that might have gotten stalled or stopped, or just you didn't meet the right people to get that inspired in you. So I think possibly, life might have gotten to you. Life might have been a little bit harsh, and you kind of snuffed down that inner child, because I'm really getting inner child with this. You got a young rabbit there, and then this one also makes me think of like a teen rabbit or something like that. So it just seems to me like you got to remember that side of yourself from when you were younger to get that inspiration again. Yeah, the sun is rising again. You used to go out and you used to play in the sun, and you used to have a lot of like inspiration just from the play, from that wild spirit that used to run and play. But things got, off track because, we have to adult so much that often that side of ourselves gets a little crushed down. And we have to re-find it again when we want to bring out that side of ourselves. And that will also re-enliven us. And that's where that creativity comes in. That's where that inspiration, that natural inspiration comes from. And, when you're a child, you're not worried about impressing anybody. You're not worried about living up to standards, anything like that. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe you got to let go of expectations a little more. Let yourself be free with it. Letting yourself have free flow with it and no attachment to the outcome. That's what's going to get you inspired. I'm sorry for my voice is a little scratchy. I was sick for a few days there, and I'm still kind of recovering. And today I have a polished pyrite. I believe it's pyrite. The color's a little redder than I would think pyrite is, so it makes me question, is this pyrite? But I'm pretty sure this is polished pyrite. That's what I remember it being. It dances with the light so nicely. See that? I think of that as like the spirit within you that needs to come out. Like you need to bring out that sparkle. Yeah, it sparkles. So you got to bring out your inner sparkle. We also have the little bear as well to be our guardian for this reading. I think of a bear as like very protective and nurturing towards its young. And I think you got to be that way towards your inner child, like nurture the inner child that wasn't cared for, it wasn't nurtured. Be protective of that. Protect your inner child by not letting it suffer or stagnate or not be heard. And part of letting your inner child be heard is letting out that creative spirit, that free spirit that Spirit that isn't perfected, isn't doesn't have everything figured out, just goes into something new with reckless abandon, you know? Like just tries because they want to have fun, not because they want to impress anybody. You can also hear the rain today, so there's lots of little noises you can hear. Hopefully that doesn't bother you, but I find the rain kind of nice, to be honest. It's kind of soothing. Let's get a couple more cards here as well. Oh, 10 of Cups. Yeah, this is the key to your happiness. This is the key to everything in your life, is letting this side of yourself come alive again. And to be honest, I think it is. Like, I don't think you have to really struggle for it. I think that's, ooh. Or maybe you do. The Devil. Yeah. The Devil was playing a role in this. You had some dark attachments, maybe in your family, that were trying to sabotage that for you. They were trying to be... the people or forces in your life that tried to crush this down, they didn't succeed. This part of you is coming alive again. Maybe for a while you didn't have that spirit in you, like you allowed them to get you down, to get you to be small and unheard. But now it's like the sun is rising after a dark storm in your life. And you have so much beauty and love and tenderness coming in. Like, 10 of Cups is such a happy card. And it's coming from you discovering yourself again and discovering how to have joy again. The Devil can't sabotage this anymore because you won't allow it. You've become wise and strong to it. So, you know, they can try, but they're not succeeding and they won't succeed. You defeated them. So, no one can take you down. That song is coming to me, you know, the one, you're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever bring you down. Sorry, my voice is a little... But that's the song I'm thinking of, so maybe you should listen to that song and just, like, dance in your kitchen or something to that song, because, like, you are the best around. You forgot that. That's the only thing that happened that made you, threw you off track, was just forgetting your own power. That was all it was. It's just they convinced you that you weren't who you were, which is a great and powerful being, a light worker, a force of light in this world. You know, just by being you, just by being your creative self. Ooh, there's 2 cards here. I love these cards. Tulip and Daisy. Yeah, and look at the sun in this one. Really emphasized here. Yeah, you light the world up for others. Because look at all these other daisies around you. Those are other people, and they're drawn to your sun. And maybe that's why the Devil energy was drawn to you too, because you bring that light to the world. I think you bring a really powerful light energy to the world. Like, you might be like an earth angel, or, you know, a being from another planet, like a light worker or a starseed. But I think you were seated here to help raise the vibration of the earth. Yeah, citrus, yeah. You gotta have confidence in that. You gotta believe that. That's the only thing that's going to throw you off, is just your own unbelief in yourself. And the tulip there, that's about, like, I think it's sort of similar to the daisy, like you're bringing light to others. Nothing stops the tulip. Nothing stops it. And it's also very, at one time or another, it was so popular that the value of it became hyperinflated. Like it was like extreme amount of money for a tulip at one point. I remember it was talking about for this card. So to me, it's like, you're like that tulip. You have really high value right now. And so it might draw, It's sort of like the empath narcissist, like you have that bright light, and so it draws, things that want to take it, right? And citruses, like oranges, I think of as like cleansing. Like today, I just happened to see a recipe for like a cleansing solution, and it was with oranges. So I think like you're cleaning up the earth. You bring a cleansing energy to all this darkness that's here. And that's why, other forces might want to sabotage you, right? Because if you can light up all these other people, suddenly it's a huge problem for them, right? You're a wrench in their plans. But you know what? Good. You're doing something right if you're angering the right people, right? Yeah, they're unstoppable. You're unstoppable because tulips are unstoppable. And they're full of creativity and life. They're not slow or careful in the plant world. They're all about just growing. And that's again goes back to the inner child we were talking about. You just have to let yourself grow with abandon and not be held back by any negative belief systems. Yeah. Be shameless, be flamboyant, be vibrant. And don't be afraid to put your stamp on the world. And just be yourself, be expressive. Make the art you want to make, no matter what it is. No matter whether you think it's important or not, or whether you think it will be valuable or not, just do it anyway. Turn your life into what you want it to be. Make it what you want it to be, because if you do that, it's going to help all these other people. All these other star seeds, all these other earth angels that also need to be activated. Need to see you and be inspired by you so that they can grow too. They can see you grow and know that they can grow as well, Yeah. And like citrus empowers you to do that. It's about empowerment. It's like solar plexus, right? Sometimes we kind of want to wait for others to help us do it, but you don't need help in a way. Like you have that power within you to make it happen. And like, fruit's very nourishing, so nourish yourself with in many different ways, spiritually, with food as well, but like, so you're physically nourished, hydrated. Actually, that reminds me, maybe I should take a drink of water, especially with my scratchy throat. Yeah. Make sure you hydrate. But also just give yourself the skills you need if you're feeling lacking, and don't be afraid to be a beginner. Because maybe that's what's holding you back a little bit, is you feel like you have to be a certain skill level, but actually you don't need to worry about that. You really don't. You can be a beginner like a child again if you want, and actually you'll be pretty skillful. So, I think you'll impress people, to be honest. People get impressed by people that grow, like the tulip. Strong growers. So even if you have a humble beginning, you doing that is gonna show people that they can do it, And that's pretty powerful. Showing people what is possible is a powerful thing. Now, so we're asking about what inspiration is coming in for you. Or where can we find inspiration? I think it's the inner child. So that's the case. What kind of people are we going to inspire? Like, what are we going to inspire in the world? Like, who are we becoming to be this inspirer? The ocean. Wow. So, like, you have, like, depth like the ocean. You're a deep, deep person. You've been into the dark ocean with your, experiences with the devil. So, if you can channel that into something that teaches people and shows people what they can come back from, That's a pretty powerful story. Like, you can be someone that shows others the way that have been through the darkness. There's two here. Yeah. Okay. The warrior. Yeah, you're the warrior. You've been through such harsh things that you have become tough and strong. But like, the warrior isn't always like someone who is very tough outwardly or has like all their guards up. Sometimes the warrior is someone who has learned how to be calm and zen even amongst the chaos, right? And look, the rainbow there between the horns, and you got the rainbow here. So you're someone that knows how to create peace from the darkness. Because look, it's a skull, which is pretty dark, but then there's a rainbow over it, right? And then you've got the snake, which is like the kundalini, and you've got a diamond in the forehead. So I think like, and that really resonates with this image here with the circle and your eye. I'm getting third eye with that really strongly. So I think because of your struggles, you've tapped into this really strong psychic ability, and that might come out in any way that you choose to. Like if you decide to do something creative or to even be a spiritual teacher, you're going to be a really powerful one. That's definitely why you were marked to, you know, be a target, which is frustrating, but it made you powerful. So, you know, it was their own, they're kind of sowing their own destruction. The medallion. Wow. Yeah, you're being offered like this powerful gift. You can bring a gift to the world. And look, your hand's reaching up, and the medallion is coming from above. So it's like you're grasping this great light that you're bringing down to the earth. And again, like the sun. We've got so much sun imagery here too. A lot of circles too. Oh my gosh, all the circles. You're whole and complete. Oh my God. And then it's in an actual diamond shape there, a jewel that's just like this one here. Get the sense that you're like a precious jewel, like a diamond, and you've crystallized your experiences into something precious and strong. You've made yourself this person that can overcome anything because of what you've been through. And now you have a gift to offer the world by showing others the way. Yeah, maybe I'll just pull these down a bit. I think I'm gonna do that. I want these guys to be above. Yeah, it feels like these circles are all kind of talking to each other, you know? Yeah. You have a depth to you because of the amount of experiences you've gone through, and that's going to show in whatever you create. So, like if you write stories, you might have a lot of stories and inspiration you can call upon because of what you overcame, you know? Let's see, what do I want next? I'm going to take a Land Sky Oracle card. So maybe that's where you can find some inspiration, is knowing that you're a very unique individual and you bring something to the world that no one else can, a healing that no one else can. And that's a healing that heals others and makes others healers as well. Yeah. Oh wow, tree pose. Vrikshasana, I'm gonna say. But you're like this really strong tree with deep roots, right? You grew so much underground in this darkness that now you've formed this huge, strong trunk and you have all this shelter and leaves for others. And nothing can knock you down because you built such a foundation from that experience. You're like the tall tree that can't be knocked over. And it's also about your ancestors as well, like your roots and your family line and all the, if all your family is like different branches on the tree, you've done something to support all of them. Like you've healed the whole family line from that. Yeah. Balanced life. Artha? Balanced life. 34. Oh, and I just know 17. That's the star card. So you brought hope and light to the world. And then here, balanced life. That's how you did it, by living a balanced life despite what you've been through. To bloom despite everything that put you through. Everything that tried to step on you. You bloomed anyway. Like a tulip that just did not give up on growing. You grew anyway. And that is just so... You're so resilient. You're so resilient. And your resilience is a good teaching tool to others. It shows them what can be accomplished when we don't give up, when we don't give in. You guys got pushed aside. Yeah. Really powerful. Really, really powerful. Sometimes just our life story can be the greatest lesson to others, right? It can be such a tool of like a journey that others can learn from. You know, sometimes like people will have like really successful lives, but like when you learn about their life story, sometimes that's the most like impactful thing. Like we know famous actors that like we know them from things like, I don't know why, but this is coming to my mind, but like I think it's oh no, I was gonna say Neil Patrick Harris, but that's not it. Patrick Stewart. You know, I hope that's his name. I think that's his name, Patrick Stewart, who played Captain. Oh shoot, what's his name? Captain. Oh darn, what's his name? But you know the one who I mean, the bald one with the red suit from Star Trek. But he had a really, really tough life. And his like autobiography is really inspiring in a way, just to know everything that he went through and who he became. Like, so like you might know him from Star Trek, but like in a way his like autobiography is like almost more impactful. You know, maybe you're gonna write down your life story. That's gonna be a huge inspiration, people. Align yourself with love and wisdom. Yeah. Higher purpose. This is your higher purpose, is to align yourself but also others with love and wisdom. And look, the sun. It's sun in Pisces, but it's Pisces is the spiritual sign, you know, spirituality and secrets. So, and secrets like the ocean has a lot of secrets. Pisces, fish. So maybe you're going to expose some of these secrets about some secrets of the darkness by telling your story. And that's going to be something that heals others. Yeah, I'm not sure why I do this, but I always seem to put the cards off a little to the side. I'm a little one-sided here. Yeah, see the other side of yourself. That isn't maybe the side that you think will be, I don't know, successful or most received. Oh my gosh. Pisces again, eclipse in Pisces, free will, serve your higher purpose. We got higher purpose, align yourself, and then serve your higher purpose. So you have to get onto your higher purpose, which is to be a spirit, like teach others their own spirituality in a way, or connecting them to their own spirit. It's not just about what you physically do. It's how you show up energetically. Yeah. It's how you bring a new energy to the world. You have a really deep spiritual purpose in this world. It's not just, I'm going to invent this, or I'm going to write this, or I'm going to paint this, which is fine. All those things are fine because those things bring us joy, right? But it's also about what deeper realizations are you awakening? What are you awakening in others, How can we align to this higher purpose? Maybe that's where we get our inspiration, is to realize that we do have a higher purpose. It's not just in the mundane. It's not just in living our life. Like, it's that, but it's more than that. We have a higher purpose, and we have to remind ourselves of, like, the bigger picture. Oh, wow. Holy moly. I'm taking just the first card here, Lemurian Quartz. That is really special. Maybe you have some ties to Lemuria. Maybe this goes back to Lemuria. Like, you were a spiritual teacher in Lemuria, and now you're unlocking that truth about yourself. You're remembering your abilities from that time. And look, there's a key and a hole here. Like, it's unlocking the crystal. You're the crystal. So, because we got that hint here with all the diamonds and crystals. So, to me, it says, you are the key. You are the key to a higher state of being for this planet. You're unlocking yourself. You unlocking yourself is the key. So, and I want to pick out this card as well. It's calling out to me. Auralite. Oh, wow. Number 8. This is the secret to your abundance as well. And we got 31 with Lemurian Quartz. That's a special number to me, but it also breaks down to a 4, which is protective, like an angel number. So again, that goes back to Earth Angel. I think you're a higher being that's been coming to Earth many times and helping the Earth evolve by helping the frequencies raise in the people that live on the Earth. You've been doing this a long, long time. Yeah. You've been really helping out the Earth forever. And Auralite, you're like fixing the auras. The aura of the planet. Maybe you do grid work. You send up energy to the earth. You're helping areas of the earth to raise in vibrations so that other people can be healed. You're changing the vibration of this planet by being here. That's your higher purpose. Yeah, and Auralite reminds us not to get bogged down by thoughts of oughta, shoulda, woulda, coulda, might've, anything like that. Like, your quest for healing requires discovery, discovering what you are truly thinking and feeling when you are not distracting yourself. Yeah. So this requires meditation. This requires quiet and being in the moment, being with ourselves and our thoughts, and truly engaging with ourselves. And that goes back to inner child again. Like, the answers are within us. We're always with us since childhood. We just forgot for a time because of this, we had to go through our lessons, right? And maybe that goes back to Lemuria, because Lemuria sank, I believe, or it disappeared into the ocean. Into the ocean! Oh my god, we have ocean here. Sorry, I got a little excited. So, maybe you're working through that in this lifetime as well. Maybe that's something you have regret about. Or it's not even like it was your fault or anything. It's just that It was something that happened and you haven't let go. And if you spend time in meditation and deepening your connection to spirit, you'll be able to process through that. We can even process through this in our dreams sometimes. So, crystal meditation before bed might be helpful. Yeah. And be mindful of your needs. Like, if you need to cry, cry. Like, because you might be releasing something, you have no idea what you're releasing, but it needs to move through you. Yeah. Because you're so much more than anything you can accomplish or produce or anything like that. It's just about you being in the moment, being present in the moment, and accepting all that is. Yeah. Don't talk yourself out of this way of being by thinking that you need to find a purpose or find a function in our society today. You don't need to. You just need to observe, be the witness, be the observer that creates the change. Yeah. It's like your very existence shifts reality. But if you're in a state of chaos, you can't perform that function. And so it's just reminding you, this reading is reminding you to take a hold of the moment. Be in the moment and let yourself breathe. Let yourself breathe in the moment, because you're doing more than you know without realizing. You're doing way more than you know. You can if there's anything you need to do, it's to stop. It's to breathe. Yeah. Become who you're truly meant to be, which is all that you already are. Stop trying to be something else, or stop trying to modify. Just express what's always been within you. And that, again, is your inner child. It's just, we're already born perfect. We just get convinced that we aren't. Yeah. Motivation. Oh. Yeah. This will motivate you. Your motivation to just be, is coming back to you. I think you got convinced that you had to constantly prove your worthiness to exist, in a way. Which is so sad, because we don't need to prove our worth to the world. We don't have to. We already are, just by our existence already. Our existence proves our worth. And what do we even need worth for? Like, we just are, You're just meant to be. Well, do I need to ask a question here? I feel like I need to ask a question here. Yeah. What is the truth of who we are? Might seem a bit vague, but what is the truth of who we are? Can you tell us, butterflies? Forgiveness. Oh, geez. That's so tender. Forgiveness. Yeah. That's the truth. Because we went through a lot and we forgot how to forgive ourselves forgot to give ourselves grace for going on the journey. It's like the child that stumbles and makes mistakes at first when they're just figuring things out. You're supposed to. That's how they learn. And we forgot that. We forgot that we're supposed to give ourselves grace and forgiveness as we exist in this 3D realm. That's the truth. That's the truth of who we are. That was the whole point of coming here, is because we didn't know how to do that. that was the point of going on this journey, was to learn to forgive ourselves. And maybe that goes back to Lemuria too. Like, I don't know what role you played there, but maybe it was something that you blamed yourself for, but it wasn't really your fault at all. Because sometimes we can do our best and we can still look at it and say, oh, I could have done better. I could have done this. I wish I had done more. And we often do that when the results come in and it doesn't turn out how we wanted it. But if something happened, it was destiny, right? Like, everything happens for a reason. If Lemuria had just sink, it was meant to, it was just destiny. It was how things were meant to play out. And you can't hold yourself to that forever. Geez, I don't know what role you played, but maybe you were a big spiritual teacher or a leader there of your community, of whatever humans played a role maybe in the sinking. I don't know if you were part of that, but if something happened there, it's not your fault. I think you did everything you could. And maybe sometimes we do everything we can and it's not enough because it's not how things are supposed to turn out. Like, it's like when we can do everything right and things can still fall apart. But it falls apart for a reason. There's a reason. And all the humans on Earth would not be where they are today if not for all the events that have happened in the past. And maybe you think, oh, well, things aren't good, but they actually are. We've learned so much on our human journey. Our societies have developed so much, like, I just think of everything. Like, we've developed physically with our inventions and our creativity. We've done so much spiritually, philosophically. We've gone through, a lot of dark things, a lot of, like, light moments. A lot of things we can be proud of, a lot of things we can be ashamed of, but it was all our journey as humans. There's no reason to be ashamed of every little thing that might have gone wrong because it's all perfect. Just like you. Just like you and your inner child. Your inner child was never imperfect. They were perfectly imperfect, right? You feel a sense of responsibility to the human race in a way that it's a lot of burden. I'm going to be honest, it's a lot of burden to put on your shoulders, and you're not the only one responsible, right? It's not all on you. And if you feel that way, I'm sorry, but you have put a lot of burden on your shoulders, and no matter how old you are, you're still just the Earth's child. And you should hold that child tenderly. Give them some flowers, Give them some joy and sunlight. You deserve to run and play in the flowers. You don't have to be such an adult about everything all the time. It doesn't matter your age. And to be honest, when you do that and you let that part of you heal and you forgive it and you let it blossom, you'll only bring more joy to this world and more power and brightness. So what's the harm, right? In loving yourself. What's the harm in loving yourself? None. Only good things can come from that. And you know what? You should be proud. You should be proud of how far you've come, what you've seen and been through, and where you're going next, because it's kind of amazing. It's amazing that you've gone so far and done so much. You've got a special sparkle. And you bring that sparkle to the world. You still sparkle despite the darkness. And that in itself is amazing. All right, I think that's the end of the reading. So, yeah, I really wish you well. I really hope that you don't blame yourself for anything that happened in the past. And I think what will inspire you ultimately, or give you inspiration for the journey, the next chapter of your life, is to know that you've served a higher purpose in your existence, and that there is something higher and greater out there beyond yourself that you are a part of. You know, you're part of a big tree, right? So, remember that. Remember that you are part of something great and powerful. And like build yourself up with that. Like make yourself give yourself that like what is it? Like Delulu. Delulu is the Salulu. But honestly, yeah, you be delusionally confident in yourself because yeah, confidence because you can be. You have way more ability than you ever realized. If you knew where you came from, what you've been through, what lives you lived before, you wouldn't be so down on yourself. You would be pretty confident. So yeah, just have a rational confidence. And like a child doesn't think about, doesn't get wrapped up in self-doubt so much as an adult does. So just embrace that. Go into this next chapter of your life inspired by what you can, all that you can be, because you have been everything before. Yeah. All right. That's definitely the end. So, I hope you liked the reading. I hope it was helpful. Thanks for sticking to the end. If you like my readings, you can subscribe to the channel, like the video. That helps the algorithm get more videos to you. And leave a comment if you want to tell how this resonated with you. And otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. All right, take care.